Well, here it is. My 200th Wii game. WWE All-Stars, a game which, for years, I've been meaning to get. And now, I finally have 200 Wii games in my collection. With 200 Wii games in my collection, I think now is a good time to talk about how my collection started and how it built up over the years. It all started in late 2010 when I bought this game at GameStop. It was sometime after my folks had purchased a Nintendo Wii system that I went to GameStop to look around, and at the time I really didn't want to bother collecting Wii games, but I came across this here which piqued my interest because it had Bad Dudes and Burger Time, a couple of my all-time favorites. And so, after buying the game and giving it a play, I actually had a blast with it. It was the only game at the time that I ever wanted to have, and I didn't want to bother with any other Wii games. Other than Punch-Out!, which I remember renting at a now long-gone store that sold animes and video games and movies and DVDs and mangas, etc., etc. After renting Punch-Out! And playing it, I decided to buy the game at GameStop. But a while after, the copy that I bought got lost, so eventually I came to the conclusion that I had no choice but to purchase another copy, and this is the second copy that I had to buy at Walmart. At the time, it ended up being Punch-Out! And Data East Arcade Classics that were the only two Wii games that I ever wanted. But then, sometime during 2011, I decided that since there were no old-school video game stores where I was living, and the chances of finding any old-school games at thrift stores that I went to back then were extremely rare, I might as well see what Wii games were worth grabbing with my fun money. And so, I went to the long-gone store, and I found this game, Chicken Blaster, which looked like a pretty decent shooter. Another game that I found that I decided to buy was London Taxi Rush Hour, which seemed like a promising game, but little did I know, it was just The Simpsons Road Rage without all the fun in it. I also decided to buy this game, Mini Desktop Racing, which seemed like a fairly decent racing game. And I remember looking at Don King Boxing, and I wasn't so sure at first whether or not this game would be worth getting, so at first I didn't bother, and after purchasing the Wii games that I had grabbed and doing some bike riding in town, I decided to go back to the store and get Don King Boxing, and then when I got home, I started to play the games, and Don King Boxing and Chicken Blaster I had a lot of fun with, And it was from then on that my Wii game collection started to grow, little by little. Two games I remember getting at Walmart that year were Candace Cane's Candy Factory, which I used to have a real blast with, and Burger Bot, which I thought was a pretty fun game. I also bought Ghostbusters, the video game, that year, and found it to be a real blast. I used to play this game a lot, had a lot of fun with it. Three more games that I do recall grabbing during 2011 were Facebreaker KO Party, Ready to Rumble Revolution, a game which could have been better, and Nihao Kailan Super Game Day. And if I remember correctly, it was during either 2011 or 2012 that I went to some Walmart in a different town and bought this game, Burger Island. But yeah, from 2011 on, my Wii game collection just built up little by little. It's kind of hard to believe, looking back, that I went from not wanting to have any other Wii games besides Data East Arcade Classics to wanting to collect Wii games. I'm actually glad that I started to collect Wii games, because in turn, my Wii collection wouldn't be what it is today.